Doopy doopy doopy. Oh, at last. Wow, crazy. Wow, I need this. Oh, excuse me. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Ooh. What's that? Doopy 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 doopy. Oh, get off me plant. Get off that way. Don't be messing with my little flower there. I've been very stern words with you. Oh, get off me, baby. Get off. Oh. Blow my neck. I'll have to be having words with that plant holder thing. Oh, wow. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, it's all right. It's a magpie. I was getting ready to kill the cat. No, I wasn't. I'm joking. It's just a joke. I've just got a lot of cats around here. I've just got, excuse me, a lot of cats around here, and they like to use my. They're like Charlie Chaplin now. Just letting everybody gather around, see if the people are in. Sorry, I've just done my garden and I've found like so many cat piles and presents. It's just horrendous, and it just puts you off cats because I don't have one and I can't go in my garden because I don't know where to stand. So that's why I said that. Never dream of hurting any animal. Few people like, but Alexa, play music from the 1920s.
Playing 1920s music on Amazon Music.
Right, are you ready? Good. To you and you and you and you. Good morning. It's great Stanley. Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you. Sorry. Right, Alexa, stop, please, because I'll get into trouble for playing that. Hello, Susu. Hi, Rachel. Thank you. I should be in the group now. I've rejiggled myself. Oh, hang on. I put myself in the wrong one. I'll go back. Right, sorry guys, I'm just adding to the right group. Hello. Oh, don't start this. I'm hoping I'm now going live in the group as well, because I put it in the other group by accident. So I do apologise. Because when you get the little like button and clicky button, it all looks the same to me. My eyesight's getting shocking. Anyway, Moodle in colour. Moodle in colour. So what we're doing today? Well, I'm going to do a little bit of a study, what we call a study. You've done it before with me, if you've been here. You've done it, perhaps if you've done a GCSE, you've done it if you've taken a thingy class, a watercolour class. anything like that. I'm just going to make sure, try not to get too much shadowing on this for you. And it's a study. Now, Sharon, our lovely Sharon, who is admin, very active in the group, she has put some colour work in. So I thought I'd do some as well. It's something that I do for myself. I don't necessarily do it for other people or in other places. But I do it for myself. So I've got a mixed media pad here, but I don't know how clever this is going to be with. I'm just annoyed that that might be casting shadows. So bear with me while I whittle my paints around. Because it's quite a dull day, but I've managed to get half my garden done. And my shrimmer was smoking. I thought, anyway, just get this bit done before it burns out. Just get this bit done, this bit. So anyway, I managed to get that bit done, but it's like the birds now are coming down and having a field day. Oh, love it. Love it. Oh, Mr. Magpie is sorting out my washing line for me. How good is he? Is he always getting spiders? Anyway, oh. So, studies. So all we need, hopefully you'll be able to do this on your own, get your own studies. I have got my watercolour paint. I can't tell you what's in here because I'll be honest with you, they're a mix of everybody's. Daniel Matthews, Daniel Smith, Windsor and Newton, Cotmans. There's a couple of, Sennelier. There's just bits of everybody because I get the colours and I like the colours. These are my Senneliers that I like. I love these. That's an extra palette that I just mix all my stuff on and never clean it. You just shouldn't clean it anyway because those colours you won't get them again. And sometimes it might be just that colour. So I've got some metallics and let's see how we go. I've got some paintbrushes. I've got the Focus, which is a beautiful ivy leaf out of my garden. Sorry, it's wet. It's fine held. Look, watercolours. I love them, but my goodness me. I've got that, which is an amazing specimen, I think, anyway. So I've pruned it all back now. It's got a short backing side to give it a blend in. So I absolutely adore that. They're great to print with. But I'm going to do a series of like little workshops on my, I keep saying, my Patreon, my Moodlers, and where we're going to look at something and go through it. And then hopefully I'm trying my best to get that as a lesson so that people can use the same process over and over again. So I'm using a pencil. Oh, I've also got this. This was off the lovely Jane Telford, Colin Gibbet Matte. And I just love our green and the red. See it? It's amazing, isn't it, that colour? So we're looking at how nature, all colours go together. There's none. So, oh, look, well-loved paints. Oh, gosh, yeah. And what I do is, it might not look like it, but I do this. Can it be, man? Can it, yeah? Oh, it's my turn to put annoy all the neighbours with me. Hoovering. I went thingy in this morning. What I do is, you can just see it here actually. What I do is, before I put my paint in, can you see the magnet? I put a tiny magnet in the bottom. Don't glue it, just put it in. And then I squeeze my paint in. And then when the paint dries, it keeps that in there, so it goes. And it sticks in there. So that just sticks. Yeah. So, little tip. I'm not the first to do it, I know. So anyway, I've got my studies, and the studies are, I love that, but I think I'll go with this one today. So get yourself a piece of paper any way you want. I would like a square book. If I do come up with my own sketchbook, it will be a square one. And what I tend to do is set myself some boundaries, as you always hear me waffle on about. Oh, I've not said hello to people. Oh, rude. Right. So I don't measure. I just go with whatever's you know, the width of the page, the width of the tape, and just go from there. But I reuse the tape. So it's a series of studies, different sizes. You don't have to tape off if you don't, but it just gives you a boundary. Now I'm looking at that, and it said, oh, it don't matter because I'll have to move everything. I'm not going to do that. So computer's in the way. So I'm just going to have a quick hello to people, see who's on and who's not. And we've got, hi, Caroline. Hi, Facebook user. Hi, Caroline. Very well, love paint. That might be Blathers. Yay, Blathers is there. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Hi, Suruson. We've got, have to be on my best behaviour. Wow, what are you doing? Goodness me. Goodness me. Anyway, oh, we found some others. Rachel, thank you for that, my love. Karen, hope you're doing okay. For the love of cards, I love that. Helen, hello. Thank you. Thanks, Rachel. Right, and we've got Jenny. Hello, Jenny. I think we're in the house. In the house. Right, okay. So I've got that. And what I want to do is just do a study. So I'm not trying to be clever. Maybe I should do this so you can see it. Or maybe not. So the first thing I'm going to do is little studies. See, if I had a little square book, it'd be easier. Right, so I'm just going to bring you forward a tad so that you're actually in front of me and I can draw. Otherwise, I'm all the way over there. Just going to turn my alpha on. Come on, come on. Right. Oh, wow. You're on form today. Okay. Don't normally have an hour, but I do when I'm doing my thing. I'll just hook him round my head. Right, okay, so studies. What they mean is that you're not going to break your neck trying to do them, and you're looking at little aspects and little areas. You're not trying to do a copy. You are trying to just get a feel for something. Oh, Mr. Magpie's back. He likes my garden, Mr. Magpie. Right, I've got a bit of scrap card. So what I would do is just, I might be too thick then. Go on, eat. What, fill your bed. Oh, it's Mrs. with her. Mrs. is with him. Woo! Oh, they're having a domestic. Oh, she's half belting him. Anyway, so I've done that. So I might just I just look at one area. And then that way, I am not messing about trying to do too much. Now, that's a really daft area to do because it's way too much detail. But if I was to do that one, and I'll hold it to the camera, you can see I've got less to worry about. Okay? So that's one way of doing it. And get the whole thing. I can even do just an area of that, which is quite nice, you know, just a study in colour. So we'll do it in pencil very, very gently, because if you do it watercolour over pencil, you will get the pencil marks staying. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to look at it, and I'm just going to do I'm looking at this though as well. Oh, come on. Right, I'm going to do this one. So the first thing I'm going to, was that? Oh, something. So I'm looking at this and I'm just going to do. Oh, right, hang on. I'll have to let him out. Oh, wait, bear with me. Right, I know I don't hurt animals, so come on, Mr. Woodlouse, get out. Click off. There we go. Is there any more? Come out. Go on, I flicked him. He's all right now, he's gone. I'm not putting with magpies. I can't be that tight. So, sorry. Right, okay. Right, I'm looking at this, and this is what the main issue is. Where do you start? So that's why I say this camera is shocking at the moment. I think most people are having really crazy times with the internet. Let me put this back. Not even picking the letter. Oh, right, now we've got it. I'll use the letter and then I'm going to use this so you can see it. So the first thing I'm going to do is isolate an area. Now, I could do that. And I'll do it on here so you can see, okay? So, first way, I'm going to replicate that way on that way. So let's look at here. So around about here, there, just reference points like that. Okay, so those points that I've made can come on here now. It doesn't have to be perfect. None of my stuff does. So I'm looking at that, looks about right, maybe a bit higher, about right. So now what I'm going to do is just for reference, I'm going to draw these. Now, these aren't important. These are just reference lines, okay? So these are just for me to be able to, there we go. So already I'm out, look. That's not that line. That is that line. So come on with us. Done that wrong. I can hear everyone shouting, move it, you've done it wrong. So it's about here, sorry. See, that's the line. So the line, the veins aren't straight either. The vein goes there and there. We've got a line to there, and the line is not straight, so I'm going to change it. So this is a study, and what all that means is that happy Mondays. Woo! Oh, excuse me, that's my stomach. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Hi Dee, hi Kim. I don't know, I can't see you, but hello. Right, so I've got my basic information down, okay? Now, the leaves are not straight. They've got a wibble on, okay? So I quite like that. Now, you can put the line in if you wish, but it doesn't. Now, my advice is if you're doing this and you want to do more, we didn't, back in the day, we didn't have a phone, so we couldn't take a picture of it, you know. So we'd end up like trying to remember where it was. But now, if you mark it, you'll know. But if you take a picture, it's even better. So what I'm going to do is just rub out some of these lines, okay? Not too much because I want to be able to see it, but I don't want it to be prominent, you know, like that, barely visible. A mere suggestion. They will go back in, but it's just for placement. And I will reuse these, and I'm not just reuse them. I'm going to stamp and paint on them and use them as my own washi tape. So there we go. It's barely visible. I can see it better than you. Right. Okay. So next. Okay. What I'm going to do is while I'm working, I will add what colour and then go to another drawing so that as I'm drying, it's as I'm working, it's drying. I don't want any bugs up. Oh, is that a bug? Come here, Mr. Bug. Is that a bug? Oh, a baby leaf. Well, it's not moving much, is it? So always lost a few people. So I'm going to get my paintbrush now, and I'm going to get a wash brush. So I'm just going to go with my very loved paints. So I'll skedoodle everything over. It's shocking, this. Shocking. So I've got some water. I've got some brushes. So I'm looking for blues and greens because it is a very bluey green, this colour. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So I've got some blues and greens already here. So I'm just going to go in with a Prussian blue, which is very strong. And then that bright green will make it a lovely turquoise. And then I need some lighter colour on this. And I'm going to go with it's a grey this. So I think I want an umber. Now, a raw umber, I'll do all this in my class, is a raw umber it's like a dull, no, that's wrong, a grey colour. But I'll show you all the colours because we'll do it on here. And then I want something to brighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to go straight in with a green. Now I'm using that's it. So I'm going to put that green over there because I quite like that for later. Piece of tissue. Don't worry about that. It's already made the blooming. It's already made me colours, so I'll use it. There we go. So I'm just wetting all over. This is because I've just put it on the other paints. So I'm just putting water in there. You sorry bum. Diddy bum dum bum. Bum. Oh yeah. Right, okay. So wet it. Now I'm gonna make it controlled, she says, just by. Now I'm not too sure how this paper is gonna react, so it's not water. I don't know if it is watercolor paper or not. So I'm just adding the bluey grey and the umber to it, and I'm just adding it in lines, and I'm just looking at my leaf, which is here, and I'm going like, okay, I need a bit, and I'm using the line of the brush. I'm not using anything else. I don't want to sort of so I'm just going to build up the colour to it's not precise at all, but that's what I want. So I'm just letting these lines bleed and letting it bleed down here as well, just to give it, and then in areas where the picture it folds back a little bit, the edge of the leaf. So I'm just adding a little bit to give it. Now it looks quite awful, to say the least. So don't worry about it. It's got to look awful. That's part of it, because you need to be able to sort of work on it. If it looks perfect straight away, you've done something. You haven't done something wrong. That's stupid to say that, but you've obviously, worked hard on it. But really, you should be building it up. So I'm going to leave it like that because it'll dry pretty light. So we'll go on to the next study. Now I know I've got paint on here, so I'm not really worried. So I'm going to look at the next part of my leaf. So I'm going to go with, let's go with, it's got to be that way. So I'm going with that. Can you see? So we've got so again here, about here. Oh, same there. Oh, and it comes off about here and off about here. So let's put some lines in. So then it goes to there. So dot to dot. Get it? So it's really simple then. Oh, come down. I'm going to have to bring you down a little bit because it's just so out of focus. It's so annoying. So I put a dot that's where that one goes. Put a dot there. Okay, and I'm going to look at the leaf, the veins again. Don't really have any there. Okay, I'm going to get the... Where's my crochet hook in there? Get out. Get out. Get out. So, I'm going to use... Although mine are a bit more to acrylic, really. I'll use my watercolour again. And I'm going to play with some colours now. I'm going to use... there already is green. So, again... Put the water down. I haven't rubbed it out, but I'm not particularly bothered because I'll get rid of that in a bit. So wet this down. Okay, I can get rid of that with a line. And I'm going to drop in some umbers. Like this, really light. I'm not even looking at... I'm almost pointillism. So I'm going to pick up the greens I've got and just add them willy-nilly. Right. Like that, add a bit more. It looks atrocious, I do know. And you know, I'm always truthful, but if you wait a bit, it might not look as bad. So I'm going to take a little bit of this off because I want to build above. Okay, and it still looks a bit. So I'm going to go in with a... I'm going to leave that on here. I'm going to wash that in. Take some off. Take some off. That's better. That'll dry really light. Right, okay, let's move along. So we're going to swap over now. And we're going to go to another part. Again, I'm going to swap over now and see if we can do it like this. It won't matter if I don't. It just means a different shape. So I quite like this here. So I'm going to pretend that that shape is that shape, if you get me. So here, here, and here, we've got a... Going to draw that in. Okay. I think this needs to be lower. So it's going to be like that and like that. That's better. Right, I'm going to do the line that I see, which is a wibbly wobbly line. Okay. Like that. Really simple. That's where I've transferred the colours now. I've transferred all the colours there. So what I'm going to do, get my paintbrush again. And I'm going to go. I just take some of these lines off. Just taking a little bit off it. Put me back on. There we go. It is for everybody. I don't know what's going on. Is that a bit better? Is that better? Just tell me, please, if that picture's better. Oh, it's even better now, isn't it? Right up my nose. Is it focusing better for you? Good morning. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's having a bit of a dicky fit today. Right, I'm mixing two of my favourite colours, which is quinacridone gold and green and blue. Those two. I just do it, they're like magic. So I'm going to clean my brush off because I don't want it heavy duty. And I've just wet the background because I'm going to let it bleed off now. So instead of like worrying it like these have all kept that shape. This, I don't care. So do the whole square, triangle, whatever shape you're doing. And I'm just going to drop in some colours and let it bleed out. If it bleeds over, better. Now these are studies for a reason, because you add drawing to it, but it's all about mixing your colours to get the right sort of feeling, and you can sort of work through it and think, I don't like that, I like that, I don't like that, I hate that. Do you know what I mean? You can work through your work. I'm going to drop in some more greens now. I'm using this is a Viridian. I'm hoping that I've got the right names for them. They're not here, you see. This is a turquoise. There's only certain people who do the turquoise. I'm going to drop in a little bit of the Quin. See how it makes this wonderful green. It's such a strong colour. I call it rust in a bucket. Not rust in a bucket, but rust in a paint. Instant rust. So I'm just going to add around the edge this magnificent colour, and then allow at the moment they look well stupid, and you would be right in thinking that, because they do look that, but you've got to, this is playing, you allow yourself time to play. So that's quite a strange colour, but what I do want to do is bring that out. So I'll get some more Quin. I'm going to allow it to just feather out at the edge. Okay, so that's that one. So now we go on to another one where I've already got a lot of. Is that better? Is that better for people? Oh, it's dropped right off. There's not many people watch now, is there? It does get to me a little bit, because you're like, oh. I mean, I don't know how the other groups are faring. I don't know if they get lots of people watching, but it does. It's like heartbreaking that you put time and effort in, and then you think nobody wants to watch it. It's like, but people are busy. And the tenner penny. So now I'm sort of really looking at like that part at the bottom. And I'm giving it a bit of a wobble on the line. Now I'm just emphasizing this, so I'm allowing it to be what we would call a moodle line. Do you get me? So we've got like a decorative feel to it. So what I will do with this, which is slightly different, is no, I don't know if I want to do that yet. No, I won't. I'm just going to go over all the lines so you can see them all. That's a Payne's grey at the top, so we've got like a bluey black happening already. So just going to get in, let's go with some drop some more grey in as a background for the blue. This is Payne's grey again. It's a beautiful colour. Now I'm going to drop in some Prussian blue, which is, oh, it's just stunning. I don't want it to be too isolated and regimented, but so just drop in that. Then don't be worried about your colours, please. Just look at colours that you've got. You don't need mine. I know I say that, and I know you all don't agree with it. So, but please, it's not about that. It's about practicing what you've got. You know, there's no point in going out and buying more if you've got plenty. You know, my only advice is, if you've got colours that you really want, then buy them. If you've got colours that you haven't got and you know you're going to use them, buy them. That's even better. But don't just buy something for one or two things because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Right, here, I quite like this. It's got quite nice lines. So what I'm going to do is change my brush. Oh, that's an old one. I'm not using that. It's well set. I've got a finer brush now. And I'm just going to drop in some lines. So here, I'm going to have to dry these, so you might be with me a while. I'm going to drop in some really dark lines. So I'm mixing I'll show you, mixing a blue and a green together. So I've got that colour and that, and then I'll drop in this. And then I'll drop in Payne's Grey. And then I'll add a little bit of, to warm it up. Isn't it a beautiful colour, that? It's such a stunning colour. My thing is, if you do get that, you can use these inks, the acrylic inks with this, which you've got from Golden, and they're just stunning. So I'm just going to, I'm not holding my brush, I'm like letting it loose. And I'm allowing it to do its thing. Like that. Okay. There is another one that pops off here, so. Right, so that's that one. It's not done. It's not done at all, but we're going to drop in the next one. So what I'm going to do is, it came off over here. And I'm just going to run this colour under. Now I'm not, this is only from a GCSE stuff. I'd love to be able to teach that again for adults. If you wanted to do it, I'd love it. I am accredited, but I'd have to get another sanction. So, but this is the underneath. So I'm going to drop in a colour that's completely not on here. So green would be red. Right, you look at that and you go, what? But bear with me. And then I'm going to go back to my Quinn and add the Quinn on top. Back to my Quinn. And you get an amazing depth because you've gone from the opposite colour. So greens is red. Right, so I've messed up the colourway, so to speak, by adding the opposite, but I wanted to do that. I've not messed it up. That sounds so wrong, but I've sort of gone for the opposite of what I've got on here, which is quite light colours. But I'm going to add some more because I think this needs some of these bright colours back in. And I'm going to go with some of this, the teals and the greens. I hope it brightens up. Get my washing done now. I've done my lawns and stuff. So I've added that. And I'm just going to go and let that bleed. Might help it a bit. Just the opposite end of my brush. See how it's bleeding it. Oh, it's sumptuous. So here, I'm going to add that very dark green again and let it bleed out, and then just put some more in, very faint, almost like so you just hardly see them. Okay, so I'm going to switch it around this way so you can see. So I'm going to work upside down, which is fine. Sometimes it's better, I find. So we're going to go with the Quinn, and I'm going to add the Quinn. I'm going to do more of it. It's still damp, but it's not too bad. It's workable so that it doesn't go over. And then I'm going to get the lining with the Quinn. Just drop colours. Some imaginary lines, which don't matter. It's a study. So let's work with the next one, which is this one. And this one's quite nice, but I need to isolate these colours, so I'm going to go in with the see, I've gone over the top with some of these colours, but it's been a long time since I've done colour studies, so I'm just playing. I really want to play. I don't want to be tied down to sort of, you'll get all that. But if you do a class, you'll get all that with the teaching, And then I can just bring in. Now I'm noticing the paper's pilling quite easily, so it's not a great paper for watercolours, I must admit, but you live and you learn. It's a specialist craft one, so I'm not too happy about it, to tell you the truth. So now what I'm going to do is I'd need to force dry these now, because this pool in here, I'm going to allow it to drip. And this paper's not playing. It really isn't playing. So I've got effects here I don't want, and I haven't got the effects I do want. So I get a bit annoyed when that happens, but it's something that will happen to you, and then there's nothing you can do about it. And instead of worrying, you've got to work with it. So, I'm just going to get my dryer. Right, I'm going to plug my dryer in. So bear with me. I'm going to do another class on my Patreon in a minute after this, and just do a recorded one for you guys, and I'll be showing you how to do like quite dramatic pictures with it. Yes, Suzanne, I'm hoping to do some courses. I know you and your mum will be interested in. I'm surprised you've not got on the table workshop. I've got one this Friday at Highlights Craft, and you make an Alice in Wonderland table. Anyway, but yeah, I've got some, like, I would love them to be GCSE. You need to be accredited for that. And I am accredited, but I don't know if your qualification runs out or whether you need to retrain. So I might need to, but yeah, it's where it's sort of along the lines of a GCSE. But you can always ask me. Right, I have got a Pitt pen for this because it's still damp. I know the damp. And I know it won't work properly with some pens. So Pitt pens are fine. So I'm going to look at my leaf, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just going to go in with some lines. Now, I'm going to go in. I'm going to ignore everything on the background, okay? So I'm not too fussed. Now, I am going to use the edge of the leaf from the watercolour where it's gone all, spread out, I'm going to use that as the edge. It gives it a beautiful edge. Now you can do it round here as well if you wish, but I'm just going to pop that to the side so I can see. So ignore that. Let me get me doofer on it. This is where it will come in handy for you, using your phone. So I've got that. This could be your favourite piece of fabric. It could be anything. Anything. Right, okay. That's a bit better. There. So I'm just going to do, and I'm going to roll my pen. I'm not actually very loosely using it. It'll be on some of the free classes for that, Suzanne, will be on my Patreon site, which is it's like a pay-per-view, though. I'm sorry to say, I have to sort of keep reminding myself that I need to work and pay bills and stuff. So, but yeah, that's going to be, and it's called Moodlers, but you need to be transferred from a Patreon site. And if anybody's interested, the Patreon is something like, it could be £5 a month, which is like £1.25 a week. So I've put some lines on there, which I'm really happy with. And if I look really closely, there's like ghost lines coming off it as well. So yeah, I might need some like little smaller pens to do that, or little lines. So the next one I'm going to look at is, I'm looking at this, and I'm going to go with, so this one was a real close-up of that, like that. I'm going to do the same. So this time I'm going to do a double edge, just like that. And then that way I'm getting like a surface pattern. So what I am finding is, it's really strange out. When you start to look at them, you think, wow, that pattern's crazy. It's going all over. And I've noticed that they go like that, and then down, and then round like that, and then round like that. And there's like, it occurs on the same side, at the same space, like that. And then, so we've got that coming there. That's why it's so good to take a picture seriously, because then you can see what you're drawing. So that's come on there, can you see? Now I'm going to put these up here. Just adding them. Right, okay. Right, so now we'll look at this, which is a bright, and I'm just going to go straight on with this. I'm going to do a moodle line. So using what I already do, but now I'm bringing it into like a moodle, making it perhaps smaller than what I would normally do, obviously. There's no point in me saying, oh yeah, I do moodling, and then not bothering on somewhat. It's important that you do what you're good at. So I'm going to do, again, try and keep to the edge as much as possible. But then if you missed any bits like that, you just go back over them. So I've got a moodle one, and we'll look at this final one where I might just play some And I'm going to do this line here. Can you see how they caught, they sort of connect? So let me get that one in. So they connect straight, but then they go and they sort of reach out to the next one. And this one sort of comes here and it reaches out to that one. And then this one reaches out to that one. To that one. Can you see? And again here. It's really funny when you start to look at patterns in nature, because you start to see other things happening. You're like, wow, look at that. They're like holding hands. So, and then when you see that, you can make it your own by doing that. Oh yes, I'm having that. And now I know what else I'm going to do with this. It's got to be done. Oh, I've just done a double line I didn't want to. Never mind. It's got to be done. So right, okay. Oh, I hope you have a lovely day. So we've got that. But then I'm going to turn that into a, it's got to be done, a neuro one. Now what I'm doing with the neuro one is I'm joining where they join. I'm getting a rounded edge pattern like that. So you take the corners off. I just looked at it and thought, oh my goodness me, that looks like a neuro moodle. So you're taking the study and you're making it as much as possible yours by transferring what you do. Now, that's why it's called study. You know, you study a leaf, a pattern, a texture, but then add your bit to it. There's no point in just copying. It don't work. Well, it does work, but then what are you getting out of that? How are you developing as a person, as an artist, or as a crafter, or however you want to, you know, label yourself, if you wish to label yourself? You just, you are just developing your skills, you know, whether you think it's artwork or not. It's preference. Like, value is what you're willing to pay for something, or you know, what is it worth to you? Like friendships, true friendships are worth the weight in gold, aren't they? And the rest. Now I feel very honoured and privileged to have such a great friendship group with my design team, because at the moment I'm actually not doing much out of choice. and they're happy to sort of just put up with that. But there again, they do have the other life, you know, not just me. I've never been like that with my friends who do DT work. They do their own thing. So I've built that up. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's really I'm really connecting with that one. I quite like these as well. This one I'm going to work on now. So, and this is the fattest pen I've got. So not really the best, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Oh, it's brightening up. So I'm just putting some really small detail pattern on these. If you're not able to my Patreons, if you're not able to see live my next stream, don't worry, it'll be in a group for you for as however long you want, but it'll be using the metallics as well. Might not use the metallics in this, but I'll be doing proper artwork that you can hang on your wall, doing the same thing but in a slightly more artistic no, that's wrong, in a more developed way. Oh, thank you. Rachel, if I was to mark your work now, you'd be on the star day straight away. In fact, most of you would be. You would be, very much so. So now I've just finished this. I'm just going to put a little bit more. So this is like the Moodle one, or not. Just small lines and dashes and circles, just to give it. These tell a story, don't they, about my style and about what I do, and yours will tell your own story. You know, maybe you have developed as you've sort of worked along with me, or you've sort of seen something and gone off with it. That's even better. But it's something like what you do with it when you've done it. Right, I'm just going to put in some little dashes using this pen and almost make it like we did the other one where I did some stitching. So again, if you was into your embroidery, this would be perfect for you. I'll move it over a bit. So, a bit conscious you can't see that. Don't move. Sorry, me being a bit heavy-handed. There we go. Right, so here. Right, there we go. I am putting double lines round it, like running lines. I'll move my hand out of the way in a minute. There, can you see? So if you was going to do stitching, you could easily do stitching on this. And I know it's incredibly difficult in parts to see it for you, but when I come to the lighter areas, you'll be able to. And it can even come to an end, a stop, like a dot end, so that you're not having to sort of finish double, you can finish single, and then this, I mean, if you take this away out of context, it looks like a map. Oh yeah, metallics red, absolutely. There's one where I've done a dragonfly wing, which would work very similar. So here, I'm not adding that, I'm just adding the dots. So I'm adding dots to get that texture. Oh, hello, Philippa. Hello, my lovely. Missed you all. I'll have to come on at some point and say hello. So, yeah, I'm going to carry on with a piece of artwork using these ideas. Sorry about I couldn't see it. So I'm just using, it's very, if you're doing it now, it's very meditative because you're not waffling on like me. Now I'm going to do the lines that I already did before, but I'm going to do them in the middle, not each side, because I'm creating a study. So and a study is whatever you want. Okay, so I really love this, and it's even better when I take the thread stuff off. So we've got that now. I'm really loving this. I think once this is dry, I would go back over it with a thinner pen. Now this one is just going to be good old pointillism. So if you think about it, right, we've got neuro art, we've got our moodling, we're going to have pointillism, and this is like maybe into fibre art. You could do it with your fantasy films and all that. You can watercolour on them. So you're covering so many, and it's stunning to think that nobody can say, oh, you've got that wrong because it don't look like that leaf, because nobody blooming knows, did it? So, your leaf, your veins, your patterns, you could use a petal, you could use anything. You don't have to do 4, you could do 3, you could do 1. But what you could do is have a series of 3 or 4 on the wall, and then each year change it, or add to it. It could be as you feel that you're getting more confident doing it, you add more and take it. You see, what we do is the thing that I've done, because I take my stuff up and down off the wall, and I'm only put it on the wall because of storage. Then I add to it. But a lot of people don't bother adding to it because once it's on the wall, it stays fixed. But think about sometimes as you grow in your art development and your art story and journey, you do different things. So just add to it. So here I've got some little bits that I've done, and I'm just going to add some little, they're a little bit darker. So, just add in a few points. And again on this line as well. So arranging it darker where it meets. And then I'm just going to put them either side. So here, now as I said, if you've missed a bit of this, the only reason I've done this with this thicker pen, thicker, not thicker, is because it's a Pitt pen and it's ink, Indian ink, so I know it's going to be right. So I've got a white pen here, if I wish, or whatever. Let's see if it works. If it don't work, it don't work. Right now. Come on now, give it a one. Oh, sorry, you're still on, Jenny. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Right, sorry about that. Right, I'm going to get my other white pen because I've got about 900 of them. Well, maybe not 900. Maybe only 400. But I do like that one because it's a finer pen. I've got this finer one here. So I'm going to say, yeah. So I'm just going to put in. Now, if this knows it's wet paper, it won't work. See, won't work that well if it's wet paper. But you can do that later. Use a fatter pen to see if this works. Maybe. Don't like the wetness. But you can just add an edge to it. Quite like that now. It's coming through. You get to see what happens. So here, where the black lines are, oh, there we go. I am just putting in some tiny little dots, not a lot. Right. And I think that I'm not adding too many. I quite like them as it is. I like this. Do we add? Yeah. So now what I'm doing, I'm going to add some white over the other lines. Like that. So this would say we was looking at, so we had a subject like natural life. We would look at 4 leaves, look at this, do this, and then when we've got our 4 leaves done, we would be looking at artists that look with nature. So then that being in the next page, and you just go on like that, and it's very the process just you just want to do that because it's so progressive. It looks, it's just done. It makes you want to do that, and that's the best thing about art. When you're doing artwork like this, is it's you have to do it. It's not that you've got to do it. You just know that it needs this, and you know that it needs that, and you're like, oh, I've just got to put that on. I've just got to put on. These are one of my favourites. These, I must admit, I do love them. I'm using a very fine pen at line now, and I'm going to use a good. Don't use any colour you want. So I'm just going to do some with an opposite colour and some with a matching colour. So I've got these are all on my Facebook, my web page. So what they are on my Amazon page. So and I'm trying to do it the way the lines are. So like that. And then it's not I'm not just blobbing for the sake of it. I'm just blobbing around the lines. Now here you can just go for it. Okay. Very fine splatter. Doesn't matter because you're going to see when it gets revealed. So this one I'm going to go with enough there. And then this one, very light. I can't really see it, so I need to go to the next one, which would be you can't see this, but when it dries to a pearl. Right, okay, I'm going to give it a quick dry. No, I'm not. I've just done it, Anna. Oh, I undo it because of, you remember Tamara Hogan? I always undo it now because I just know what happened to her. I'm just sorry if I've missed any questions. I'll have a quick look. I'll tell you, Suzanne, don't worry. Right, okay. All right. The videos are all released, Suzanne, are already released on my YouTube channel, which is private to some, but it's mainly to help me continue to do this. So that's why it looks the way it does. But don't worry, you get all the stuff is free backgrounds and stuff. You can use that as you want, draw with it, whatever. So that's what I've been doing. Now I'm going to take the papers off. So you've got to find out. Here we go. So there's one. Keep your papers all right, these tapes, because these tapes are dead handy to reuse, because as washi tape, they're fantastic. So let's have a quick look. Right, the paper's quite nice. It's not ripping. That's good. So the Patreons will get this and be able to cut it up if they wish. So that's what happens with the 4 studies now. So you've got the metallics, you've got the pearls, you can draw on that or anything like that. So yeah, that's study and colour, okay? And if you want to see more, the Moodlers, I'll join you to the group, Susan, don't worry. Go back and I will carry on at 1:30. I'll start 1:30. I'll go on to Moodlers Live and I'll do one in there. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. Today is, so it'll probably be Thursday when I can get to do another video. But it'll probably be, like I say, I'll let everybody know when that is. And I hope you enjoyed that. It's so simple to do. Postman's bin. All right, so take care. See you Thursday. I'll check the schedule, but thank you all so much. Okay, so bye now.